Evet, şimdi bir işbirliğiyle karşınızdayız. Biliyorsunuz deprem bölgesinde pek çok farklı firma depremzedelere yardım için çalıştılar. Bunlardan bir tanesi de Dockers. Dockers bize geldi, dedik ya biz çok farklı işler yaptık. Bunları da anlatmak istiyoruz. Seve seve dedik. Dockers Waves for Water'la bir işbirliği yapıyor ve de bu afette belki de en çok ihtiyaç duyulan bir konuya el atıyorlar. O da temiz su meselesi. Temiz su depremde çok önemliydi. Özellikle bunun sustainable yani sürdürülebilir bir su kaynağına ulaşmak çok önemliydi. Ve de Waves for Water'ın bir kolu olan Clean Water Corps ekipleri Türkiye'ye geldiler. Hatay ve çevre köylerde yardım faaliyetlerini gerçekleştirdiler. World Central Kitchen gibi kar amacı gütmeyen uluslararası kuruluşlarla, yerel yönetim ve liderlerle ortaklık kurdular ve de bu ortaklığı büyütüyorlar. Şimdi bu Waves for Water'ın kurucusu John Rose şu anda bize Kaliforniya'dan Lake Tahoe'nun yakındaki bir kasabadan bağlanıyor. Kendisi önümüzdeki hafta Türkiye'ye gelecek ama ekibi gelmiş, ön çalışmaları yapmışlar. İsterseniz sizi John'la tanıştırayım. Hi John, it's very nice to see you there. I know that it's very late now for the California time zone. You have a background as a professional surfer, and now you are part of Waves for Water, a humanitarian organization. How did these two worlds come together, and how did the idea for Waves for Water come about?
Oh, well, first off, thanks for having me. It is late here, but I'm a bit jet lagged. I just got home earlier this evening from working in Southeast Asia, so I'm jet lagged and I'm up and I'm happy to be talking to you. Yeah, I was a professional surfer for my first career, my first adult career. I turned professional out of high school around 17 years old, and had about a 13-year career. And when that career was ending, I was looking obviously what my next chapter was going to be. I definitely didn't think it was going to be a humanitarian aid organization, but I did have an idea to create a little bit of a program or like an organization, maybe not even a full NGO at that time. It was just like an idea because I had seen so many places around the world that I had been surfing that needed basic needs, basic human needs. And I thought, oh, I could rally my community, my surf community, and we could go to Indonesia twice a year, and places that I knew very well and knew the culture and knew the people, and help them with some of their problems. And surf.
Great.
That was the original idea. And then I had this major twist of fate happen where I basically was caught when I was going to implement this initial idea. I bought 10 water filters with my own money, went to Indonesia, and I was caught in a 7.3 earthquake in the city of Padang on the island of Sumatra. And I was sort of the first responder just by being there. And I had these 10 filters, and those 10 filters ended up helping thousands of people, just because of the nature of the earthquake. And obviously that's very relevant for what we're about to talk about, what happened in Turkey. But it was a life-changing moment. It just, it went from this kind of pet project idea to, wow, what if I really tried? What if this was my life? Like, I was so impacted by how much I was able to help without even really trying at that time. And it just, I don't think anybody can go through an experience like that without being really touched. And for me, at the crossroads in my life that I was in, it just became very clear. This is my purpose. This is my life. And I've really dedicated my life ever since then to providing access to clean water for disaster zones, conflict zones, and developing communities around the world.
Sounds great. Way for Water is partnering with Dockers for a sustainable future. Could you share with us the details of this collaboration? What have Dockers and Ways for Water done are doing?
Yeah, so we're an implementing organization, which means we don't fund programs. We actually implement programs on the ground. So our programs are funded and supported by different partners, right? And that could be other NGOs that want to subcontract us out for our program, to corporations, who want corporate social responsibility or social impact projects. And Dockers is an incredible partner of ours. This is our 3rd year of partnership with them. We've given over 250,000 people access to clean water, and counting, because we're doing, 4 major projects per year with Dockers. These are large scale programs where we're providing everything from wells to rainwater harvesting systems to filtration systems. And there's a lot of brands out there that feel like they need to do something because it's expected, and that's good that everything's moving in that direction. But sometimes people don't really walk the talk, and Dockers really walks the talk. They've done everything they said they were going to do, and actually more. I feel like they have the right commitment and mindset to like really make some changes and help us change the statistics around the global water crisis.
Great. As Waves for Water, you launched a donation campaign for the earthquake disaster in Kahramanmaraş. Could you share with us the amount of donations collected so far and the number of people you have touched?
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly the total amount of donations at this point, because we've had a lot of like bigger partners like Dockers step in and just give, allocate some of the corporate social responsibility budget towards those programs. There is individual donations happening as well, but at this point we've implemented over 400 water filtration systems that are impacting, anywhere from 15 to sort of 18,000 people. That's what we've done so far, because a lot of those are being put in sort of community settings, some of the camps and stuff like that. So like, many people are using one system. And then some are in individual households in more remote areas that were hit. So yeah, that's sort of where we're at right now. We've done 3 phases or three rounds of work, and we're getting ready to do our 4th round next week. I'm actually going over next week to initiate the 4th round of work with Dockers for this project.
John, you mentioned that Waves for Waters also works on providing clean water in natural disaster areas. Recently, you and Dockers have carried out projects in Hatay and Adana. Could you tell us about the work you did in the region? Do you plan to carry out similar projects in the near future?
Yeah, exactly. So as I just said, I'm coming over next week. So that's the next thing in the future for us, to launch another round of work, which will be primarily focused on scaling what we've already done in Iskenderun and Antakya, and a couple other areas as well. So we've sort of set up our teams there, and we're assessing the needs on where else it's needed. And we're just going to start scaling, doing more water filtration system implementations for this next round of work.
John, could you tell us about this 7.1 filtration system? How does it provide water, and how many people can you provide with clean water as a result of this purification process?
Yeah, so it's an incredible technology. It's been around for a long time. It's actually, are you familiar with dialysis? So dialysis, the process of cleaning blood. People get that in hospitals when they have kidney failure and stuff like that. So they took that same technology and applied it to water. And so it's a membrane filtration technology. So it's a small cartridge that has a membrane inside that's thousands and thousands of microfibers, and that membrane sort of serves as like a net. You can almost picture that like a fishing net. But microscopic. So it's 0.1 micron size. So for example, cholera is 0.4. So it can't get through, or typhoid or salmonella or giardia or, all those major waterborne illnesses, bacteria-based and parasite-based illnesses, all get stopped by this 0.1 micron membrane filter. So it's very portable. There's no machinery, there's no batteries it's just gravity fed. It's super cost effective, and it lasts for, you know, the capacity of of one filter is 1 million gallons of water. So that's, you know, something like 3.5 million liters of water for one filter. And so if you start doing the math on all that and just going, wow, this is just an incredible technology. And it's almost like there's a need for it, and the need doesn't know that the technology exists. And then the people who made the technology, the engineers and scientists who did this amazing technology, it's not their job to know who needs it or how to get it to them. So that's where Waves for Water steps in as sort of a bridge to implement these solutions where they're most needed. It's an incredible technology.
And lastly, what kind of work does Waves for Water aim to do in the future, John?
Yeah, you know, I mean, we're very straightforward and focused and on one thing, and that's access to clean water for places that need it. So we work in over 40 countries, and I guess our biggest goal is just to really change the statistics out there. You know, that there 1 in 7 people don't have access to clean water around the world. So that's a pretty staggering statistic. And I think we're helping to change that statistic. We can't solve the whole issue ourselves, but we're taking big chunks out of the problem. And I think that we're just going to stay the course and, you know, try and scale the programs that we have, and also open new programs in places that we haven't worked yet. And yeah, it's very simple. It's very straightforward, and it's very impactful.
Great. John, is it going to be your first time visiting Turkey?
No, I've been to Turkey a couple of times under different circumstances. Unfortunately, I'm coming under these circumstances. At the same time, this is what we do best. So I'm happy to be coming and providing the support that we can. But I love Turkey. It's one of my favorite countries. I've had so much fun in Istanbul and on the coastline. The times I've gone, I've spent a lot of time in the whole region, you know, throughout the Mediterranean. And my heritage actually is from Croatia, distant heritage, but still, so I just feel really connected with the whole, you know, sort of Mediterranean and everything. So,
John, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for your organization and Dockers helping our people in Turkey. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
See you.
Evet, bu tür işbirliklerini yapmaya devam ediyoruz. Siz de eğer bölgedeki insanlarımıza yardımcı olduysanız, bunu anlatmak istiyorsanız bir işbirliği yapabiliriz. kenan@dipnot.tv'ye bir e-mail atabilirsiniz. Bu işbirliklerinde beraber olabiliriz.